Hi. Hello, sweet friends around the world. How are you? Good morning. I'm sorry I'm a minute late. Just things are running behind today. How are you? So I want to start by showing you these beautiful, well, if I can get them in the frame, these beautiful flowers. Look at these gorgeous flowers that my wonderful husband got me for our 17th wedding anniversary, which was yesterday. So they're so pretty, and they smell really good. I wanted to talk today about this because it felt incredibly appropriate, given that 17 years feels crazy, absolutely crazy, because love is such a unique thing, isn't it? We all want it, we all seek it, but it is something that is so. I know for me personally, I wasn't one of those girls that was just looking to get married in my life. Like that wasn't like one of my life goals. Like I had a lot of my girlfriends were all dreaming about. The home they were going to live in and what their Christmas card would look like and all of these things. And I just wasn't that girl. I wanted to travel. I wanted to have, experiences and just, not that I did want to have children and a family, but I wasn't 100% sort of like, okay, marriage. So here I am, 17 years married and 20 years together. And it's pretty wild. So I want to talk a bit about that today. And I also want to, and thank you so much. Everyone's saying happy anniversary. Thank you. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about some things that make partnerships work. Eduardo's going to join us, and he always has a few things to say. So he's going to join us, and we're going to talk about things that sort of we do to keep our love alive and to keep it, going and joyful and happy and what it means. Oh my gosh, Denise! Hi, love! Sorry, I just said hi, friends. I love when I see my friends on here. Hi, guys. So yeah, that's that. So please throw in your questions. I'm going to answer as much as I can, and we're going to talk about some topics that I think are important is a strong word, but things that sort of are on my mind. And what else? What else do I want to say? I don't know. What's going on? Let's see who's here today. Hi, guys. So, yes, just a little Serbian shout out to all the Serb athletes. I'm so happy. Thank you guys for writing and tuning in. Zdravo. Really excited for all the athletes and the Olympics. Eduardo and I that's one thing we'll talk about, but boy, did we love it. Loved. We watched every single minute and we were so excited. And it's always super exciting to see, athletes from around the world just sort of step up and see the brilliance and the hard work. I felt like it was more inspiring than ever on every level. And I loved it. I'm going to miss it. Although we're going to now watch the Paralympics and I'm really excited about that. So, okay. So let me invite my guest who happens to live in my house in with us so we can start chatting. Eduardo. Here he is. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Good morning. How are you?
Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much, Eddie. Thank you. Thank you for my beautiful, beautiful flowers. It was more than that. We shared time together over the last few days. So it wasn't like a one-day thing. It was
a 3-day thing.
3-day thing. Here, scoot in.
It was a destination anniversary. Because our problem is that we never know whether we should celebrate our anniversary the day of our civil wedding, when we went to the City Hall, or when we went to church and we exchanged vows in front of God.
The religious.
So it always is confusing. It's always this thing. Well, is it today or is it in 2 days?
Right.
And so this year we decided to do both days and the day in the middle.
We had a day with the kids. They celebrated us.
Yeah. It was great. It was lovely.
We did. So,
first, I want to say that I was hearing your introduction,
okay,
and it occurred to me that maybe love isn't really only a feeling. I think that love is a journey that you embark on with the person that you've chosen, and the person that has chosen you, essentially. Because really, love is more than just a feeling. As the relationship grows, so does that feeling grow. And as you change in the relationship, so does that feeling change. So love, in a way, is a whole combination of feelings, and it's a vessel through which you feel all these different things as you grow. So that's what I was thinking about.
See?
Love is a journey.
This is the kind of stuff he
Not a
comes out
feeling.
with every
It's
day.
a journey.
He's not just saying this for now. This is Eduardo. This is...
But it's
well, no. You are...
Do you know what I mean?
100%. And I feel that more than ever as we sit here and say 17 years and you think about what's a partnership and how do you keep things going, it is a journey. And as I was saying, I think one of the things when I talk about marriage being sort of a confusing thing for me, my parents divorced when I was 5. They had a lovely relationship, but they divorced young. But I did have both sets of grandparents and aunts and uncles who had wonderful marriages. So I was surrounded by partnerships that worked really well. So I had an idea of it, but I think when we're young and we're looking for someone, we're sometimes attracted to kind of what we think we want versus what we need. And somebody said that to me once, which was, it's like we think, for instance, I was attracted to sometimes, like soccer calves. I know that sounds weird.
I have that.
But
I do.
But you're not.
I can't show you because of the
soccer.
frame. I can't show you because of the frame. But if we tilt it down, man. And shins.
Shins. Hot shins.
Hot shins.
Hot shins.
The first time she met me, she said, man, those shins.
Where's your coffee, by the way?
I don't have one. It's
What?
here.
So something that we have in our mind, like, I don't want somebody that doesn't have, this kind of hair or this kind of nose or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's not who you're living with. No matter who you end up with, you wake up next to that person and they have to, inside their hearts, their minds, their body, they have to be people that bring to you what you need. And so what you need is your journey. And so it's like we have to mature to that. Like you have gone through relationships that sort of taught you things that don't work. And I feel like the more you get to know yourself, the more you're able to then sort of look and allow yourself to be open to a person that could be the right person. Then you embark on the partnership. And
then also I think that you have to have that mindset that if something feels slightly uncomfortable, you don't trigger the escape hatch and you leave. You stay in that discomfort and you understand why you're uncomfortable with a certain situation or something, and then you talk through it and you work through it. And every time you work through a problem, your love gets that much stronger. And your love becomes that much more resilient. And that's really very, very, very important. I think that people sometimes throw in the towel too quickly. Like, well, I can't deal with this. Love is not a workout. You don't throw, in the towel. You try to stay in it as much as you can because the other person deserves that, and maybe your love deserves that. And if you work it out, if you come out on the other end, you will come out stronger and more resilient, and your love will be that much more beautiful. No?
Yes. We're going to answer this question. So somebody asked how you proposed, which I think is really great from your what happened in the moment that we knew.
The 10 seconds before I proposed, I did not know I was going to propose. We were in your house. We were in your bedroom. We were about to fall asleep. We were spooning. And at that moment, I felt such a strong feeling of oneness and of home with you that I proposed. My heart told my mouth to articulate the words, and once I had said the words, I had realized what I had said.
Oh, that's really beautiful. And I love that because it wasn't something that you, again, I think when we both came into each other's lives, it was at a time where we both weren't looking for a relationship quite at that moment. I mean, I think we had met before because we'd met in college, but then you were coming out of a relationship. I was like, I think we just.
But as an Italian, I'm always looking for love.
Always looking for love?
Yes. And the voice drops. Yes.
Okay, there was another question here I wanted to answer. What was the other question? It's there. Hold on, my hair looks crazy.
Mine too. Hold on a second.
Hold on a second.
Hold on. Here, it always gets here.
Sorry, guys. It's
here,
like
my hair.
summer curls.
The bangs.
Hold on. Here we go. Okay, somebody said that we need a book of Eduardo's advice. I agree. Mm-hmm. I tell him that every day. Yeah. He will say something to the kids and I, and we're like, that's really a deep thought. It should be Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. Remember that on SNL?
I should have Pontiisms.
Okay, so wait. What else? I don't know. Somebody just asked a question. I can't find it now. Where is it? Anyway, so something else.
Somebody's asking, due paroline in italiano. Buongiorno tutti in Italia. Spero che state passando una bella estate. Siamo qua a Los Angeles e vi salutiamo e vi mandiamo tanti baci.
Voila. So somebody asked, okay, so let's talk about this. So, in partnership, obviously, there are, we don't want to call them like, compromises that we make.
But it's not a bad word, compromise.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's a good word.
So what are some of the things that we have to deal with? Like, obviously, when you're with somebody for a long period of time, you guys get to know each other's, habits and even annoying habits or things, and you have to kind of get comfortable with them or used to them, and that can kind of lead to, let's say, a period of, I don't know, like when you talk about the journey, I feel like that's part of the journey, is like, how do you deal with each other's idiosyncrasies, if that's what I'm trying to say. For instance, recently you found out that you have a little what's it called, the thing that you have?
It's called misophonia, which means that certain sounds irritate me. And I never realized that this is what it was, but it's not really a condition, but it's a hearing thing where there are specific sounds that should not irritate a person, irritate me. And one of them is, for example, the sound of ice cubes in water. When a person is drinking water and for example, we're in a car and she has her enormous...
when a person,
she has her enormous, let's call it the Stanley Cup, which is a ridiculous cup, but I don't know. Ridiculous. It's like this big. It's enormous. And she has a little straw, and I'm driving, and I'm turning like this, and she like this with her little straw, and then the movement of the car makes the ice cubes clink. That sound, for some reason, irritates me. And so what do we do when this happens?
Or in bed, or if I had an apple, if we were watching TV and I bit into an apple, he literally goes, it makes him so irritated that he could rip my face off. Like he just can't. And so I said to him recently, I was like, is this a problem? Like, are we gonna have to sleep in separate bedrooms? We're like Lucy and Desi. Like, is this going, how are we gonna deal with this? Because it really does irritate you, like, deeply.
Yes, but the truth is, I realize that it's crazy, and so it's my problem to overcome.
Yeah,
it's not your problem. You should be allowed to eat an apple, and you should be allowed to drink something with ice. I'm the one who should manage this, obviously. And that's what compromise is, to understand who should deal with the thing. Because there's always one person more at fault than the other. That's the truth. And in this case, it's me.
Or Eduardo's deep annoyance with my love of Birkenstocks. I have a lot of Birkenstocks. And he has really had to compromise his dislike of Birkenstocks because I wear them every day. I love them. They're really comfortable on my feet. And you don't like that?
No, because they're ugly. And they make a beautiful part of you, your feet, look less beautiful. Because so many parts of Sasha are beautiful. Outside of it. First of all, look at that. She has a beautiful smile. Look what a beautiful smile she has. Aww. She always have such beautiful smile. She has beautiful teeth, by the way. She has a beautiful mono dimple right here, mono dimple, which I've always loved, that mono dimple. She has beautiful eyes. And you know the other things that I find really sexy about Sasha is her drive and her grit and her desire to always find another mountain to climb. I find that sexy.
Thank you.
It's true.
Thank you.
I did.
Thank you.
I did.
You know, also, the other thing I'll say about that journey is I do think it's so important to be with someone who wants you to fulfill your dreams, whatever that may be. Like, you know, sometimes I feel like you can get into a relationship and somewhere along the way, your desires of what makes you happy get lost in that relationship. And then, and particularly when you have children, so much of our energy and focus goes into taking care of our children that our own individual sort of, you know, dreams or desires
Yes.
or drives or ambitions of what we want to do get kind of lost in that. And definitely on our journey, when that happens, and it does happen, particularly in our business that we're in and everything else, Eduardo you've always been very supportive of that in me. You know, it's not easy to be in a relationship, as you guys see, and we always talk about Hollywood couples, but like, it's very hard to be in a relationship in many industries, but in Hollywood it's hard because we go on production for months on end, for long hours in the day, and when we're in that mode, when I'm working, I'm not available to get on the phone. I'm not available to just, you know, it's not my time. And so, for example, when I did Rizzoli and Isles for 7 seasons, I worked really long hours, and Eduardo stepped in. He stepped in to support that journey for me. He covered with the children. He accommodated my schedule for a long time. And that's something that, you know, I will always be grateful for, and I will always, you know, appreciate that he did that. And in turn, then our relationship sort of, you know, changes, because then I'm ready to do that for him and vice versa. So I think it's really important that you also have a partner that you can sit down with and say, hey, these are my needs, these are my desires and my dreams, and will you help me get there? You know, will you help me figure out how to do that? It's not always easy. Like, it's really, really not. I think it takes a lot of communication, and, you know.
And also, I think that that sometimes we have to put the you and the me on a back burner for us. And I think that the story of us is as important in a marriage as the story of you or the story of me. And I think that that's sometimes what I do when I find a moment difficult or an obstacle that we have to overcome, or, you know, the emotional immune system, let's say, is down. What I do try to do is look at the story of our relationship, the story of our marriage, a story of what we built from a 35,000, you know, foot altitude, to really look at what we've built together. You know, if love is a village, all the different buildings that we built together, like the memories are buildings. You walk into each memory like a building and you feel those memories again. You know, what village have we built together? You know, the children, the memories, the places that we've been to, the friends that we've made, and all these things really matter so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think also, you know, the circle of people that you allow into
Yes.
that story is important. When we got married, somebody asked how we met. We met at film school when we were at USC in college, but we didn't date then. We were just friendly, and then we ended up connecting like 9 years later. But I think when we got married, I remember us sort of really, really downsizing our wedding and sort of realizing that, like, first of all, we had a very small wedding, but also we kind of thought, well, you know, it should be people that we're going to call on a bad day. Like, it should be people that we can call and confide in, that we can share what we're going through and not have them judge our partner for it or us for it. And we're really fortunate that we have a lot of community around us of marriages that are also, and families that are also striving to stay together and that work together. And we can speak about things going on and not have it be like, you know, the end of the world, but a way to figure it out and grow past it. I think that's also very important. Like, community is important. I feel like sometimes when people are, like, the weird thing, here's what's strange. Like, in America, when you go on a date, you go one-on-one, right away. You go one-on-one. So you're like in this pressure to meet this person and speak to them alone, and you don't even know each other. And that's awkward for anybody. In Europe, you always go out in groups. Like, when we first started going out, we went out with like groups of people, his friends or my friends, mostly your friends at that time. And so you were able to see the person in their comfort zone. And there was something about that, because you can, I mean, frankly, you can also, you know, look at the friends he has and wonder if those are people that you would want in your life. You could meet, right? You can meet
Yes.
people in each other's lives. I actually think that's really healthy. Like, that's something that I feel people need to adopt. Although maybe now it's even harder because dating apps don't allow that either, right? You meet somebody and then you're like having to just be alone with them. So anyway, I just think community also is important. And then a couple things I wanted to talk about. What are things that we do for each other, like when times are when like, you know, we have too much going on. There's a lot of work going on. There's a lot of kid stuff going on. We don't even have time for ourselves. We do these dates, right? Like, tell them about our date nights that we put aside. Not just Valentine's Day, but I'm just saying, like, when we want to take time for ourselves. I feel like you've been really, really great at sort of going, you know what? We're doing this on our own. We're going to the mountains, or we're going to go just spend a couple of days and just reconnect. Like, I feel like you've always been great at that. So,
well, reconnecting is extremely important because it reminds us why we're together. Because what happens in a full life, in a relationship, the day to day takes over. So your life becomes a laundry list of things to do, as opposed to a succession or a series of experiences that you can share together. So laundry lists are important, of course, because we have to get things done. But at the same time, we have to reconnect with one another by sharing an experience. And when you share an experience, whether it's a walk or a coffee together, it doesn't have to be this grandiose, amazing thing. It really can just be a coffee together, a walk together, a moment together. Life is memories are moments. So all you need to do is to create moments with the people you love. And each moment is a brick of that house that you're building. And that's it. So always remember, when life takes over, stop it to create a moment with the people you love. And that's what matters.
I love that.
Right.
That's beautiful. All right, we're going to answer some questions
Ooh
here.
la la.
Ooh la la. So somebody has asked, there's a couple here that, hold on, they're coming up quickly. We talked about how we met. What else? What's the worst date have you ever taken each other on?
Worst date?
The worst date? I don't think so. I don't think we had a worst date.
No.
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 Do you remember anything? No.
No.
I don't think so. We don't have a worst date. Have you ever been to Germany? Yes, we've been to Germany. I have family that's in Heidelberg. I like saying Heidelberg. And Eduardo can speak a little Swiss German. Can you speak a little Swiss German?
Stenner watte brust. I don't know what it means. No idea. But it's Swiss German. It's a curse word in Swiss German. Stenner watte brust.
Can anyone tell us what that means? The Germans out there. Sasha, parli italiano.
Sì, Sasha parla molto bene e capisce tutto. Capisce tutto
Grazie.
quello che dico in italiano.
Grazie.
E parla abbastanza bene.
Grazie. What else? Hello from Basel. Are you in? Okay, have you ever been to Brazil? No, I've never been to
No,
Brazil.
we want to go to
We'd
Brazil.
love to go to
We
Brazil.
love Brazilian music.
Love.
We want to
That's
see. We want to go to Carnival. We will one day go to once the kids are completely out of school. Our daughter is, our son is not. But once they're both out of school, we will go to Brazil together in February because that's when the carnival takes place. We'll go to Brazil together in February, and I mean it's going to be unbelievable.
Somebody asked, have you ever fallen in love with a woman, Sasha? I haven't fallen in love with a woman, but you know what? In some ways I have, because I have best friends that are like sisters and that I love deeply, deeply, deeply. And so
You know, you've loved women.
Yeah.
You might not have fallen in love because
Yeah,
the
there you
concept
go.
of in
I
love is
love.
a romantic concept.
love,
Yeah.
love women. Have you ever fallen? Wait, hold on. What else? What languages do y'all speak at home?
Mostly English, and with the kids, sometimes because they went to French school, French and Italian. So it's a combination of 3 languages and also Serbian.
Yep.
So Sasha knows, yeah. So absolutely. So 4 languages, but mostly English.
Eduardo, have you ever fallen in love with a man?
I love many men, but I've never fallen in love with a man. No, I have not.
There were a couple questions. So do you guys ever feel, how do you deal with jealousy of each other, and do you guys get jealous of other people?
Well, jealousy is a symptom that something is wrong in the relationship to begin with. So I think that you preempt jealousy by ironing out any insecurities that you might have within yourself or within the relationship.
I agree
And
with that.
if you do that, then jealousy can't really take hold. Jealousy is like a weed. If you garden your marriage, jealousy won't grow.
You're so good. Is that why I married you? Wow, that was so good. Jealousy is like a weed.
Yeah. If you garden your marriage, it won't grow.
That is so good. That's really, really good. See, that's hot. That's hot. He says these kinds of things. It's so hot. I love how smart you are. You're so, you know what, that's why. See, you know what, you're so, first of all, you're really amazing with how you articulate your thoughts, your deep thoughts and words and thoughtfulness into how you see the world. I really love that. That's wonderful. I mean, yes, sometimes it can be super annoying when he
I'm
lectures
sure.
me and the children on all sorts of things. And we're
Yes.
like, oh, come on, just
Yes.
turn on the TV,
Yeah,
stop.
shut up.
But we do appreciate you and love it. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
But yeah, I agree with you on the jealousy thing. You know, in past relationships, there was so much jealousy stuff. I'm not really a jealous person, but I think that I would feel jealousy. If I felt jealousy in past relationships, it would usually be because that person was playing games with me or trying to make me jealous. And the minute that person tried to make me jealous, I was kind of turned off. And that's just how I felt. I felt like if somebody's playing games with me like that, then like, we're done. And I agree with you. Then that means that something is inherently not working in your relationship. One of the things I loved about Eduardo, and one of the early things that really made me feel very calm in our relationship, was that he doesn't get jealous like that. I would go to work with handsome men, and not that that matters, but it did matter for past boyfriends. Like they would be like, who are you working with? Is he talking to you? Like, you know, is he hitting on you? It was always this thing, and I'm like, listen, this is my job. Like I'm just telling stories for a living. Like I can't be with somebody who's like sitting on me, choking me to death every single day. And Eduardo never had that. Or if he did feel it, he was so internal and respectful about it in a way that he understood that it was his feeling that didn't have any merit, and he would deal with it in the right way. Like, meaning not in the right way, but in a way that like I felt like you dealt with it, like you owned your own feelings, you dealt with them, and you didn't put them on me. I think what's really destructive and toxic in a relationship is when you don't have control over your own feelings, and then you just, you know, attack your partner for things that are out of their control. Like something that's not fair, like being jealous over your partner, but they're not even doing anything. They're in a space with another person. It's weird.
And very often the people who are jealous are just projecting their own adulterous kind of instincts onto the other person, because if they were put in the same situation, they might do something. And so they project that.
Okay, say that again.
No, people who are jealous sometimes are jealous because they project their own kind of adulterous tendencies onto the other person. If I were in your situation, I might do something. So I'm jealous because I'm projecting that you might do it too. So that's also what happens, you know, with those kind of, you know, jealousy, you know.
I agree with you. I mean, listen, you know, also the other thing too is if you have a healthy relationship, if another man or woman find your husband, you know, or wife attractive, like, I don't know, I look at it as a compliment. Like, I find him attractive. So I don't look at it as like, oh my gosh, they're trying to like, you know, if they were disrespectful in some way, then that would be a different story. Or they take liberties that sometimes, and we've had that. We had somebody who, like, I remember one time she just didn't have boundaries, and so her behavior with Eduardo was so like weird. But I don't know, I kind of felt like it was her. He didn't reciprocate that in a way that made me uncomfortable. So we both kind of like laughed at it, like, okay, that was weird. But anyway. So that's our feelings on that. And you know, jealousy is something that the person really has to deal with their own stuff. So you need a moderator. Somebody said we need a moderator. We do. Okay. So wait, there was another question. Oh wait, are you guys celebrating your beautiful mom's 90th birthday?
There are a lot of celebrations happening, a lot of retrospectives. We had an amazing retrospective and celebration of my mother's work at the Lincoln Center in June. There's going to be another wonderful celebration and retrospective of my mother's work in November at the Academy Museum in Los Angeles. We are also celebrating privately our mother the day of her birthday, of course. It feels like it's a whole year, really, of a celebration for this amazing woman that my mother is.
Margo.
And our dog agrees. That's right, Margo.
So
You're right.
We'll take two more questions. Somebody very kindly asked, how are you? We're good. Margo, come here. How are you? How are we? We're good. We're good. We're enjoying our summer. We have a lot of changes, as you guys know, because our daughter's going to college. And so, oh wait, actually, you know what? Somebody actually asked, what kind of advice do you give your children about relationships?
I think the advice you give your children about relationship is them seeing how we navigate our relationship every day. And really, you know, and in the end, what you're hoping for is consistency. I think that people who have, you know, so many relationships have enormous ups and downs. And those ups and downs, you know, the highs are great and the lows are terrible. But a relationship is not based on the highs or the lows. The relationship is based on what the average is. What is your average state in a relationship. And if that average state can get the closest to peace and serenity, that's true happiness. To be at peace with someone, to be at peace with your own life. And so if there is a piece of advice, it's that try to find peace in the relationship. Don't try to, chase the high, or some people chase the low, by the way. Chase the middle. It doesn't sound sexy, but after a while it becomes sexy. The middle is sexy.
The middle is sexy. We could end on that, but we're
Yes.
going to answer one more question. The middle is sexy. Somebody keeps asking, so what has been the biggest challenge in your relationship? And for me, I would say, I think to go back to what we started with, I think the journey of being not stay in love, but be in love. Love is a journey. And when you're in a partnership for a long period of time, you go through so many things together, and you don't know how you or your partner are going to react or feel in that moment. Like when you have children, we have a lot of friends now that are embarking on having children for the first time. And we know and remember how challenging that was to have babies up at night and to not be able to get enough sleep and all of the things that came with that. That's a challenge. Like in those moments, to be there for your partner despite the fact that you're sleep deprived or not getting to work out or do the things that you like to do, because you're both having to do things for the house, for the children. And sometimes, like Eduardo and I will get into like little tiffs about there was a moment where we were arguing about things that were going on, little things we had to do around the house, okay? And he doesn't like to take out the trash. He just doesn't actually like to pull the trash out and throw it in the trash, like take it out of the kitchen and put it in the trash. It's just a thing. But there's other things that he does, like he will
I love to go grocery shopping. So I like to buy the thing that will become trash. But I don't like the trash phase.
He just doesn't. And so I don't mind.
But I go grocery shopping every week. I love grocery shopping. I love it.
There's a million things that he likes to do and I don't, but there was like a moment where some things weren't getting done, and we realized that if we both just separated these things and decided, hey, you don't mind doing that, but you like doing this, and once we sort of worked that out, then I felt like things were easier. So a lot of times it's about deciding on working out things together. Like this seems so little, but these are things that lead to arguments and fights.
Of course.
Like just
but
living with a person
the
for a
small
long time.
things, if you don't address them, accumulate. And then you find yourself miles apart because you didn't deal with that little thing. It's a little bit like if a ship goes in one direction, if you change that ship 1 degree, the first mile, it'll make no difference to the destination. But after 300 miles, that 1 degree will take you somewhere completely different in the world. And it's the same thing in those very little details that you accumulate. If you keep on accumulating these little things, these little stones in your shoe, it becomes an enormous boulder in your shoe. So deal with it every day. And don't go to sleep ever angry at each other.
Yeah, that was
never, ever. Deal with everything a little bit every day, so that by the end you've dealt with the things, and then you can kind of
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice. Yeah, we don't. Somebody asked, do we go to bed angry? We don't. We'll stay up and work it out and talk it out and do what we need to. One time we were in a discussion for like a 12-hour flight. I remember it was like a bajillion years ago, but like there was something that cracked open at the beginning of a long flight, and we ended up talking it through the entire flight, which felt really good. By the time we landed, we felt
And
super
the pilot
fresh.
came in. We had the pilot advised he wasn't flying the plane. There's automatic pilot anyways.
Okay, so we are gonna finish this up. There's a lot of people asking about our projects and things that we're doing. And we have a lot of different things that we're doing and working on. We have a couple things more than a couple things that we're working on together. And so, yeah, we're pushing the ball forward every day.
That's right.
Every day. So we'll let you know as soon as you know, there are things that we can tell you about. So what else? Thank you again for my beautiful flowers, which I'm looking at over here. We appreciate you showing up. Thank you so much. It's always so good to see everybody from all over the world. If I couldn't answer all your questions, I'm sorry. It's so hard to like get to everything as it's coming up. But thank you, and big kisses for a wonderful week. And do things that you like together. Find somebody who you like, you enjoy the same things. You have the same passions and stuff. I meant to say that before. Like, it makes life so much easier to have things that you can do together. Like we both like now we loved watching the Olympics. We had we literally was a date every night, every day, every night, organizing our dinners and sitting next to that TV watching it. We had such a great time.
Amazing.
Such a great time. And also continue learning. I feel like even as individuals, if we keep like learning individually and growing and trying new things, then that's something that we bring to the table to our partners.
And also try to find out as early as possible, and it's always a bit too late, but always try to find out as early as possible if the person, if the person you're with shares the same kind of human values as you. Because that's really everything, you know, the human values is really the DNA of your life. If you share that same kind of, you know, those same values, life becomes much, much more easy together. Because in the end, you always fall back on those principles, those values, whatever those are. And if you find somebody that complements you in that way, then a lot of the work has been done already.
And we're going to end on that. Thank you guys. I love you. Thank you for showing up. Lots of love. Have a wonderful day. And thank you for coming. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.